It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Early season's greetings, NBA fans. I'm Ernie Johnson. Thanks for joining us. Got Shaquille O'Neal here. Got Kenny the Jet Smith here for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. In this game, we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder against the Denver Nuggets. Well, it was Denver in their last game with a loss to the Timberwolves at Target Center. After splitting their first two games of the season, tonight's game gives them a chance to get their record over the 500 mark and maybe get a little momentum on their side. And guys, the fans always enjoy hearing stories from your playing days. Let's talk teammates. Shaq, who were your favorite guys to play with over the years?
You know, everyone loves the Shaq, and Shaq has four.
Welcome, everyone, to a great Sunday night with the NBA here on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. So for the Thunder, their last game, a win against the Magic in Orlando. It went the distance, too, as they needed overtime to win it.
And boy, did that game nearly get away. For a little bit fortunate to have survived at the end.
Now let's take a look at Denver's opening lineup. Fareed and Nurkic in the middle. Moutier out there at 4, and it's Chandler in at the 3.
And, you know, guys, a high-energy post player like Kenneth Fareed excels at doing the dirty work. As a matter of fact, he's nicknamed the Manimal for good reason. Very few players in the league possess this combination of energy and aggressiveness.
Now, here's Moutier. Over to the left wing. It's stolen by Ibaka. Young with no one around. From outside, off the mark.
Yeah, early on, 3 misses to open the game. Their offense right now still trying to find its way.
Fareed, and he banks in the layup.
And I'll bet that's what they talked about before the game. You know, getting the ball inside early.
And it worked to perfection, Clark, on that possession. We'll see how that plays out in terms of being a big part of their game plan.
Now, here is Ibaka. He's coming off a 28-point game against Orlando.
Yeah, but he was also a force on the defensive side. 2 block shots and also altered a ton of shots.
There they go. Finally able to drop one in on their 4th try.
To the paint, here's Fareed. And it's blocked by Adams. And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. No luck.
They've had a cold start so far. Just 1 of 5 from the floor here early.
Moutier kicks to Chandler. Nurkic up top. The Nuggets moving the ball around. Nice shot by Foy.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Nurkic, the pass to Moutier. From past the arc. Missing.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Nurkic with the steal. Feeds it to Foy. Moutier with the ball. Dishes it to Foy. Shot clock at 6. That 3 off target. Had some space there after the little pump fake.
Clearly it was a disappointing year for the Thunder last season, guys, but they still were very good in the Northwest. They finished 2nd behind the Blazers and won 10 of their 16 in-division games.
Now Foy. Near the 3-point line, it's Foy, and he sinks the shot coming off the strong pick.
You can't afford to give him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to do a better job of fighting over.
Season for the Thunder, Greg, the first time since 2010 that they did not win the Northwest.
Yeah, and Kevin, if healthy, you have to think that it's still the Thunder's division to lose going forward. The division only sent one team to the playoffs in a down year for OKC, and it's probably the most wide open division in the West.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. McGee's checked in. Denver also making some changes. Hickson comes in for Yusuf Nurkic. And it's Gallinari in for Wilson Chandler. The shot by Hickson, no good. For Oklahoma City, they've gone just 2 of 7 so far. A little bit of a slow start for them. Right side, Westbrook. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And who could forget the tear that Westbrook went on last season? I mean, after the All-Star break, it was just triple-double after triple-double for him.
Waiters, he's checked in for Thaddeus Young. Greg, for Westbrook, as you were talking about him, the triple-double stretch included 4 in a row. He had 6 triple-doubles, Clark, in 8 games. He was sensational.
Yeah, it really was, Kevin. And what's even more amazing was that he was very close to a triple-double, even on the nights he didn't get one. Man, he's a guy who showed you what it means to carry a team.
Here's Moutier. Jimmy Butler making his last shot. Unloads from 13. Moutier, no good. For Oklahoma City, they've gotten 3 of 8 shots to fall for them here in the first quarter. Westbrook with it. Now guarded by Fareed. McGee a screen. Outside Butler. Back to Westbrook. Shoots the 3. Fades away. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Ibaka's got his first points in this one.
You know, as soon as he recognized the height mismatch, he immediately pulled up for the jumper.
And, Greg, that's just good basketball. Come on, good basketball there. A clean look from that range. He's got to take it. Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Guys, this one is threatening to get really ugly.
Now, here's Moutier. He's covered by Westbrook. Screen by Fareed. Near the three-point line, it's Foy. And so the first quarter. And a moment now to hear from Steven Adams as he reflects back on a life growing up as the youngest of 18 children back in New Zealand.
So, like, the youngest over there has to do.
Hard to imagine growing up in such a huge family, but it sounds like maybe it prepared him for life in the NBA.
Yeah, got him outside of himself and toughened him up a little bit. No question about that. Wow, 18, that's mind-boggling.
That is amazing.
Yep.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And when you consider how the Thunder are doing, guys, what do you think?
I just don't know that you're going to see a better quarter defensively than what we saw in the first.
Really a big part of why they're on top here. The defense has been on point.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. So on the floor for Denver, Joey Dorsey is out there with Hickson. Then it's Will Barton. Then there's Gallinari. And it's Nelson in at the 1 spot. Barton kicks to Nelson. Pass to Gallinari. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Really was a slow start for Gallinari last season. It took him a while to get back to speed after missing all of the 2013-14 season with that torn ACL.
Gallinari hits them both. Gallinari did get better and better over time, and he improved. He started to get back to his former self near the end of the season.
Yeah, had that huge 47-point explosion towards the end of last season. And listen, he's still a young guy and hopefully can continue to build after his injury woes.
And it's Butler missing.
He's got to be disappointed with himself on that one. He has got to knock those down.
Barton passes to Nelson. He kicks to Gallinari. Soft touch off the glass. Gallinari's got 4 points this quarter.
And that's what he does. I mean, he is a bucket getter.
Denver with a tough year last season. A lot of losses for them on the road as they would go, Clark, only 11-30 away from the Mile High City.
Yeah, and Kevin, they ended the season on a 5-game road losing streak as well. I mean, they had mostly given up at that point as they had tried to develop young players, and it just kind of blew up on them down the stretch.
Pass to Nelson. Kicks it to Gallinari. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
A big problem for the Nuggets last year is that they just couldn't hit shots away from home. I mean, they finished in the bottom 5 in terms of field goal percentage on the road.
And the Thunder with some changes. Bogdanovich is checked in for Ibaka. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Russell Westbrook. Here's Barton. Rebound by Butler. Thunder have gone 0-4 in the second quarter. Obviously, that needs to change.
Hey, I've got one more note on the Nuggets and the road. I mean, when you shoot as poorly as they did, as you mentioned, you start to lose some confidence and second-guess things. It's a lot harder to fight through shooting slumps like that in somebody else's building, no doubt.
Gallinari in the corner. Hickson sets the screen for Gallinari. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. Well, it was a season last year of heartbreak and change for the Thunder, narrowly missing the playoffs as the Pelicans beat them out for that 8th position.
Yeah, and they were teetering back and forth on that 8th spot for most of the year. Ultimately, they just couldn't hold on to that final playoff spot.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Young's checked in, and Denver with a change here too. Chandler's checked in. The wide open look here for Marion. And good! Coming in on the assist by DJ Augustine.
And another lead change here. How many of these are we going to have tonight?
I'm not quite sure, but I'm willing to bet it'll be more than a few.
And Nelson gets it to go.
Guys, for the Thunder, that playoff miss was the first time they didn't make the postseason since their first year in Oklahoma. Fans have really been spoiled with how successful the Thunder have been of late.
Pushing it up. A nice shot by Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich has got his first 2 points of the night. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Thunder.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover. And the Western playoffs just, it seemed a bit amiss without having the Thunder involved. Westbrook, I tell you what, he did everything he could to try and carry that injured group into the postseason last year, but it just wasn't to be.
Was shot by Dorsey, no good.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
Adams trying to free himself up. Augustine, no luck.
I'll tell you what, you can shake your confidence missing wide open shots like that.
Nelson dishes to Chandler. He sinks the 11-footer. Chandler's got it all tied up now for the Nuggets. To the paint, here's Marion. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the rack.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you'd think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that.
And Denver decides to take their first time out here, coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
And boy, that was a tough one to lose, guys. But they played well throughout that game, just unable to convert down the stretch.
Yeah, I know we don't get into moral victories, but they can definitely take away some positives from it because even though they came up on the short end, there was some good stuff too.
Here's Fareed. And off the front iron, and in it goes. Fareed's got 6. Oklahoma City's gone 2 for 5 from three-point land since the end of the first. Pass. Now the feed to McGee.